Greetings, Archie.
Let's get this over with, Sadie. Have you sourced the souls yet?
I have indeed. Is the dungeon ready then?
It is ready. My greatest creation. Let's do this.
Each of your characters, of course, has a rich history and knowledge of the world they came from and all those sort of things, but all of a sudden you find yourself in this windswept, desert-like boneyard. Wind flashing around you, bone dust in your eyes, lightning and thunder crashing, and you can feel yourself changing, the very essence of yourself changing. All your past experiences sort of like fleeing from you and becoming like a lost dream. And you can feel changes happening to your body, getting stronger, getting faster, getting smarter. And then slowly but surely a sphere or a vortex of swirling lights appear before you. You can see through the vortex what looks like to be a middle-aged man staggering about with a bunch of tankards of ale in his hand, looking around as if he's lost. At this point, I'd like just a straight initiative roll from everybody to see who goes through the portal first, even though you can't even see each other at this stage. So, the first to step through is going to be Mick. Or what? How's the full name?
Mikalopolo Yordsmithius Abacatoon.
That's the one. Alright, so let's bring the character in.
Let us see what's to be seen.
Alright, this is the vision your character gets. The guy's swaying in front of you. He goes, "Oh, hello. How you going? What are we doing here?"
Mikalopolo will take a deep bow and say, "Hello, my friend. I am Mikalopolo Yordsmithius Abacatoon. Might you direct me to the nearest group of commoner adventurers so that I may fulfill the family job of guiding them to excellence?"
I got no idea what you're talking about, but here, have a beer. That'll make you happier.
Why, thank you, sir. And Mikalopolo will take another deep bow and take a big old swoop of his hand to grab a tankard.
Awesome. Alright, next comes in Arriba. And this is the view Arriba gets. Okay, we got another one. What are you?
Ariba being a... I don't even remember how exactly tall he is, but an unnecessarily large bug essentially just crouches in place, and like you see the thing's hands twitch, all four of them in like weird ways. It might be spell casting, it might be reaching for the armor, the weapons that it has close at hand, but it just settles down, and then it looks, or it seems to look through compound eyes at this man, and he hears a voice in his head that says, "Are those all for me?" And it begins to reach with all four hands toward the tankards.
Don't get greedy, little bug. But here you go. Here you can have one of me tankards. Yeah, here you go.
So he takes one in one hand, then just kind of looms over him, because he's like 6, 7, 8 feet tall. He's a big bug, and he's just little. And it goes back, and it slowly starts to sip at the beer. Being, I don't know, it's a really weird process. He doesn't have human mouth parts, so I'm not even sure he can sip, but he does the insect approximation.
All right, next in we have Hilda. This is the view she gets.
Hilda walks in with her head turned to the side, in the middle of saying Need new bandages on bed 3 and more water to bed 5. And seems a little out of place now here instead of in the medic tent.
And Barney looks at her. Oh, another one. I'm running out of tonkins. Here you go. I got one for you too.
Hilda will take the drink and kind of look back at this swirling vortex here in the room that she apparently just walked out of.
And it stops swirling,
That's not good.
as if it's just closed on down. And you actually, now that it's closed down, you realise that there'd been like a humming noise, like a woo 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 woo, just a low thrumming, and now it sort of dissipates. And now, just in the background, you can sort of having a look at how things look around. In the void, in the background, in the darkness, you get the occasional flashes of lightning and the occasional thunder rolling across. So, what do you guys want to check out from here?
I believe Ariba's first instinct would be to immediately, while he's nursing his beer, go and poke at the portal and see if he can investigate or otherwise deduce what exactly happened and where this thing connects to and if it can be turned on, that sort of jiggery pokery.
Moment. There we go.
I will hug this device until it's in me home.
All right, do me a investigation check.
Okay. Two.
All right, you're confident of your observation skills, of course, but you can find no levers, no controls, no way to actually switch it back on. It looks like it has just completely died. Maybe run out of power, you're not sure.
You two, non-barkeep serving ones. This device does not seem to work anymore, and it has no machinery to turn it back on. You, beard one. How did we come here? Now that I have finished your beer, I demand answers.
I don't know. I just rocked up here first. I was a little bit scared at first, actually. I'm glad that you guys have come to join me, and I don't know where I am. Last thing I remember, I was in the bar, serving drinks. Nice full bar. I can't even remember any of my patrons. Actually, I'm not even sure I owned the bar. Maybe I did. Maybe I was just working there. I can't remember much at all.
Do we remember stuff? Are our memories patchy in the same way?
Patchy in the way. It's like a lost dream. As you go on further and further, everything's become less clear. It's like you're forgetting the dream of what your past life was. Like,
Hilda will chip in and say, and I was at the northern border of Eritreus in the medic tent, about to apply some new salve to a patient, some new burn salve to a patient. She'll take a look at the drink and take a sniff of it, a little swig, swirl it around, spit it out, and as long as it doesn't taste foul, she's not an expert in what poisons taste like, as long as it doesn't taste foul, she'll down it like a true soldier in one go. And after that, she'll go to continue her sentence, but won't be able to remember where exactly she was saying she was or what she was doing.
yeah, even that country that you mentioned before is sort of like slipping your mind. You're not even sure if that was true. Maybe that was your dream.
What about you?
My name is Nicolopoulos Smidius Abacatoon, and he'll do an obnoxiously gracious low bow again, and say, I am part of the adventuring family of the Abacatoons. Perhaps you've heard of us, I'm sure most have. We are here to accompany you common folk in your journeys throughout the material plane. I believe that
You think?
that spatial displacement device may have affected my memory, as I'm not quite sure what exactly I was looking for, but I do know what it says on my coat. And he'll flip open his coat and it will say Mikalaflo Yorn Smithius Abakatoon on both sides on the interior.
The names are sticking with you. No problems at all there.
Ariba is profoundly grateful for the fact that he does not have much in the way of facial features to give away what he is thinking of this. What, if anything, he thinks of this introduction. But he gives a very stiff, unnatural nod and says, in your head, which is a very uncomfortable experience. It's like having a scrub daddy rubbed on the inside of your skull, and he just says,
I have forgotten much as well. I surmise that we are all, the four of us, in some sort of situation.
Perhaps inside of an adventure that needs unraveling? And he will then look at his hand, realizing that he's still holding the ale, and say, "My friend, would you like an extra ale for your other hand?" And he'll extend the ale he was given to you, to one of your unencumbered hands.
"Oh, he will definitely take it and start nursing that one as well."
Excellent.
Yeah. He may or may not have been quadruple fisting drinks in the past. You can't tell.
Man's now full. Just 2 ales. And a weapon and a shield.
He's a bug with his priorities straight.
Barney starts walking around and having a look at the place. And he tries the door and it doesn't open.
Perhaps we should try some other doors. Barney? What? Is it locked, or are you incompetent at opening doors?
I can't even find a handle.
There seems to be a switch behind me.
Excellent perception. I believe that you have found the key to unlocking this door. One word.
Let's calm down. We should probably look into the rest of the room before we make unhinged assumptions. My yellow-coated one.
Again, excellent, astute observation. We must not rush headfirst into danger, for then the danger will swallow us whole.
What in particular do you guys want to investigate within the room first?
Nicolopolo would gladly donate a help action to anybody that wants to do something.
I would like to investigate broadly investigate the room and see what I perceive about potential exits. Oh God.
Let's have a little walk around. So,
Okay.
first, of course, you got this huge statue, ominous, and it's like producing magma out of the bowl, and it's pouring slowly into a grate in the middle. Then, of course, on the other corner, you got this demonic-looking figure wreathed in shadow. And then there's another one of the robed figures in the corner, and another demonic figure in that corner.
Well, this doesn't feel fair.
You've
Neither
got,
of these are great choices.
you've got pictures on the side of the walls, quite interesting, and like a demonic face in there. And you're not sure, but at one moment you think it winks,
Oh.
Kind of terrifying.
Yeah.
and it's almost like the surface of this sun here is like roiling very, very slowly. Like it's almost an animated picture.
Are there other different paintings, or are they all the same?
Then you have
Oh.
this one. That seems like a vortex, and you've got a robed, shadowy figure in the vortex. And the vortex it's very slowly but subtly seems to be spinning, almost imperceptibly. You feel drawn to the center of the vortex, and it looks like the robe is looking back at you, and occasionally you'll see a little ruffle of the robes.
Hmm.
Now, of course, the pictures are repeated. And if you look at it seriously, that robed figure there is correlating with a robe and a robe, and then the demonic figure is correlating with this demonic figure and this demonic figure. Now, what in particular did you want to look at further?
That actually was just specifically what I was looking to investigate.
Okay.
Honestly, I was just trying to notice more detail about the room, but I suppose specifically then I would suggest, are there any details about the doors that I can perceive as well?
So the doors don't have any handles. They look made
Okay.
of solid stone, and it doesn't look like there is any way that you can see to open them.
Okay, and the doors are all essentially looking the same?
Yep.
Companions, I would draw your attention to the fact that these different switches all seem to have paintings associated with them as well. Very ominous, very peculiar. I would surmise that we must flip one or perhaps all of these switches. I suggest we only try one first. Personally.
I do also notice a strange thing about these portraits. It would seem that the statues wreathed in shadow are surrounded by the portraits of flaming magma, while the statues of magma are surrounded in portraits wreathed in shadow. Perhaps there has been a bit of a switcheroo. Perhaps we must switcheroo the portraits.
A fascinating proposition, yellow-coated one. What say you, Bottles?
I don't know. I'll just follow your lead. I'm just here to give drink, and I'm out of drinks, so I don't even know what I'm going to do.
I think it's pretty obvious what we should do here. We need to break these levers off and beat these damn statues until they tell us how to get out.
Yes, I knew commoners were quite aggressive and vulgar, but I think your gung-ho attitude might be a little bit over the top for the moment. Perhaps we could take it back down to a 12.
Well,
And maybe we need to beat 5 people until they're rubble on the ground and not just 4.
Oh,
Well, that is certainly an option, perhaps one that we'll pursue later. Perhaps for now we might pick a switch. I would suggest perhaps one of the lava ones. See what happens. I will do it.
You want to do it?
I will volunteer. Yeah, Ariba will trip the switch if nobody else seems as assertively interested, and he will give it. I'll give it a flip, I suppose.
Barney's going to be watching. Everyone's watching.
mystery. Intrigue.
Yes.
Violence.
Truly.
As a thing happens.
Doom.
So as you pull on the lever, you can sort of feel, especially with your knowledge of how machines work, that it's not your ordinary everyday lever. It's like it got several sort of almost gears to it. And as you get to the first position, you start hearing a powerful scraping noise, like stone shifting. You know, like when you're in one of those labyrinths that changes all the time. All those scraping, building, crashing noises.
It happens to me all the time.
Please roll me a 10-sided dice.
Ooh. Let me see here. I got some 8.
We have an 8. So, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, alright then.
I do hope I made a good decision.
He says to no one in particular.
Nicolopolo is cheerleading from the back. Great work, great way to take the initiative.
The door swings open, and from beyond, You can hear a little bit of shuffling, and maybe a little bit of whining, almost like a little dog whining. Oh, this is a bit strange.
Oh, you mean you're not accustomed to hearing strange dog-like noises through mysterious doors opened by levers attached to magma-flowing statues?
No.
Understandable. No, you don't wish to go first, bearded one.
You guys can do that. You guys can do that.
Reba will sigh.
So at this point, I do want everyone to roll initiative, and then I'll get you to basically go turn by turn from this point forward.
Oh, excellent. I got a 9. You guys can go first.
Alright, Meek will look forward and say, "Face on for glory," and he will action cast Flame Ward on himself as he struts forward to the door.
To the right of the lever that was pulled, correct?
Yes, right is always right.
Right.
Not Blade Ward. And is that a concentration spell?
It is not. It lasts until the end of my next turn, I want to say. End of my next turn, I have resistance to all but bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage done by weapons.
And then you can move
We'll go up to the door, but not into it yet.
5, 10, 15, 20. Have a look from there. I'll have to move you across a little bit. That's what you can
There
see.
appears to be a tree of some sort of holiday celebration through here. Perhaps we are interrupting your party. Come forward, and he will move 10 feet further
10 feet.
down the hallway.
Yep. 5, 10.
And he would also like to bonus action, or not bonus action, object interaction, pull his short sword out with his offhand. So he has his little super short staff, super long wand in one hand, and has a short sword in the other. It is an elven scimitar.
Now you can actually see off to the far right hand side just the tail of some creature. It looks like a small creature, but you're not exactly sure what it is from here because it's behind a pillar.
Gotcha. He will also not move, but turn back to face the room and put a little tush in front of his mouth, and then point down further into the room.
And is that it?
That's it.
Perfect. All right. So that means we have Ariba.
So I would like to spend an action to use the Thrycreen Chameleon Carapace trait, giving me an advantage on dexterity checks made to hide while within the environs of this room that is completely differently decorated from the next room. Well, I guess that's kind of moot. I'll just sneakily move up behind the pine tree if I can.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what's your movement rate?
30.
6. That's as far as you can move.
May I be sneaky?
And yeah, you give us a stealth check.
That would be an 11.
That's all right. I know whether they're going to notice you or not. All right. So then we would have Barney. He just just moves to about here, and he's got no beer left in his hand, so he's actually going to pull out his bow and knock an arrow ready to go. And he's swaying a little bit, so you're not really sure whether it's a good idea to have him at your backs with a bow, but he's doing it anyway. And that's Barney's turn. Now we have little old Hilda.
All right. Hilda is going to unsling a shield from her back as an action and equip it.
Perfect.
And she'll move up to the doorway. She definitely won't go through it yet. Wait and see what happens in case she needs to rush in and pull some people out.
Yep, so she's moved 15 feet. And we're leaving it at that?
Yep.
So, where do you want to go from here?
Meek will turn to Chief Ariba and put a finger to his mouth and whisper, "You must go quietly into this place. I fear we there. I see a tail further on in, and I would certainly hate to awaken it from its slumber." And then we'll turn back around to peep the tail.
Do you want to move or?
He is going to again cast Blade Ward on himself.
Yep.
And move to the left to kind of get around the left side of the tree. Trying to
Now
peek
you
out.
can see one.
Oh!
Does it appear to have seen me?
Oh yeah,
this
it
point?
sees you at the same time.
All right. Meek will actually move them 5 feet forward again.
Let's go to here. So it was there, and then 5 feet forward.
Yes. And then left 2 more for a total of 20 feet of movement. And he will say, "Hey, friends, we are but adventurers here to seek adventure. I am alone, of course, but could you direct me to the treasure chests?" And he will actually move 5 feet forward, even there, or even from there as well,
Okay.
for a total of 25 feet. With his action, he had already casted Blade Ward while behind the tree.
Yep.
And he will end his turn there.
Cool. Warning. You actually look around a little bit further. You can actually see more of them. And actually, there's one there too.
I guess.
All right.
Hmm.
You hear them all giggle. We get to be the first. We get to be the first. You're gonna die, suckers.
Do I hear that?
Then we have Ariba. So I'm happy to actually expand
So-
this room.
Did I just hear a little voice say, "We're gonna kill you, suckers.
Yeah.
You're gonna die here, suckers"? All right, all right.
Can I interject really quick as well? Meek's intention of walking into an open area like that was to draw all focus on him. I don't know if that has any benefit on the stealth of everybody else, but that was his intention of walking out that way.
All the kobold eyes are looking at you.
So if I move to the same position but on the opposite side of the room, as how much movement is that total?
As Mick,
Yeah,
we have
essentially just right up
5,
next to the pillar.
10, 15, 20.
That should be fine. Okay, in that case, we're going to die here, and not today. And he will happily broadcast his horrible, screechy, nails on chalkboard thoughts to every head within 120 feet. He doesn't care. And he will also fire a ray of frost at the blue kobold.
At the blue kobold. Fantastic. So, you need to make a roll for that one, don't you?
Yeah, do I get advantage because I was stealth?
Although you did actually announce that you're going to...
No, that's true.
Yeah. No, you did
So,
announce. So,
was
no.
that just a single roll it gave me?
Just-
Yeah, it just gave me a single roll, so.
23 to hit is definitely hit on a kobold.
Oh, good. 7 damage, and he is slowed by 10 feet.
Okay,
That is the full extent of what I can do in my turn, so, or at least what I'm willing.
that one's dead.
Oh,
Kobolds are pretty easy.
he exploded into frozen bits, so
he did.
clearly.
He did.
perfect circle.
Alright, so, that is all you do in this round, I gather?
Yeah, that's all my ambition at the moment.
Wonderful. Now, Barney can move. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's got a good shot on red, actually. He's going to turn around and go gold. Let's see if Barney's attack actually shows up in the game log. I hope it does. That is annoying. It doesn't show up.
Hmm.
But his arrow misses. Whoopsie. Now we have Hilda's shot.
Hilda, hearing, people talking about killing us up in there and shit, and hearing the sounds of combat, is going to rush in to aid these suspicious people. Them being there, piled up on the left, Hilda will go right, just up in between the tree and the pillar there. Seeing the general layout of the situation, she's going to cast Fairy Fire, getting those two at the back of the room. Other way.
Other way.
Mm.
So that was 5, 10, 15, 20. Oops. Do you want to go to there, perhaps?
Yeah.
Yep.
A little to the right, but that's fine. We all get where I am,
Yep, I'm doing it by the squares. Do you want me to leave the squares on?
It's fine either way. And so I'm going to cast Fairy Fire. I think I can get both of them in it. 20-foot square should be able to. Yeah, they're only those 4 apart.
5,
We'd get 'em
10,
both in
15, 20. I'm happy with that.
15 dex save. Let me go back, check the spell real quick, make sure I'm saying this right. The light's gonna be green, just because. Why not? I'm a healer. Dexterity saving throw. My save is 15, and that's my turn.
They get a dexterity throw save, do they?
Yep.
And it's 15.
Yeah.
So 1 fail and 2 fail. So they are now glowing green. And just for special effects,
Ooh, fairy fogged. They aren't kobolds, they're leery fog beasts. Here's an obscure magic joke for you.
now we have the kobold. Each of them are not even going to bother moving. They're going to stay exactly where they are. And they are going to attack with slings. First person to actually show themselves is the one they're concentrating on. Attacks against Mick. 21 to hit.
Ooh, that hits. I'm glad I have Blade Ward.
Yeah.
So it does 3 points of damage.
So Blade Ward is step by half. Would you rule that reduces it down to 1 or to 2 damage?
I'm happy to rounding to benefit players.
Lovely.
One.
Quick, find all the rounding situations we can.
That was the first attack. So then we had the second attack. We have a 5 to hit, which is a miss. And we have a 21 to hit,
That wouldn't so well.
doing 6 points of damage.
Alright, reduce down to 3.
That was all the kobolds.
Hmm.
Now we're back to Mick. So your blade ward's gone now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Mick will then say, well, that was not very sporting or very friendly, I must say. I had envisioned us being friends. And he will, point his wand at the kobold, hidden behind the, column, and he will say,
The gold one.
Abacadee, abacadoodle, I should hit you with a couple of magic noodles, and cast magic missile, to, throw 3, magic missile. Probably overkill, but hey.
The gold one, aren't you?
Yes, the gold one.
Yep, perfect.
So to hear that correctly, abracadee, abracadoodle, I'm gonna hit you with magic noodles. Is it spaghetti, linguine? Please tell me. That's my favorite.
It is a very rare elven form of linguine. When he spins his little wand, little like large noodles pop out the end of them, 3, and they just cool and just like flap the kobold with a wet noodle as they spin. All right, here we got a 2 damage, followed by a 3 damage, followed by a 5 damage, for a total of 10.
That destroys him. He bursts apart in a splatter of golden blood.
Golden blood. Ooh.
That was a cool little transition, just not fun before.
Anything else you can do in this round?
He will use movement to stand behind the staircase, hopefully shielding himself from view of at least one of the kobolds. And he will call back to the other friends. I don't believe they mean to be friendly to us. Perhaps we should. And, like, reach one hand with the wand out and, like, point at the kobold, and then hide it back behind the steps again. And end his turn. I wish you well, friend.
One may still be able to get you.
Gotcha. As long as one of them can.
I love this visual tool so you can see what can be seen and what can't.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Now we have Ariba.
I believe Ariba will advance. Do you I guess, north. Like he'll just head straight, so long as he ends up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's perfect. He'll move six spaces directly forward, and then
diagonal here
blast
if you want.
the nearest.
You can go the diagonal if you want.
Yeah, why not?
That's 5 squares there.
Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Ooh. Can I reach him in melee?
Yeah, I should really be having them on the squares anyway, so I'll put him in melee, in melee range.
So, Ariba threw the bolt of frost from one hand, but he'll reach out with the other, and it will begin to crackle and pulse with tiny beams of electricity that will then grow and blast the kobold, hopefully. Let's see how that attack rolls with advantage this time. Thank you. Green sparkly. That is a 17 to hit.
17 is a hit.
Oh, nice. And it is 7 damage again.
Nice.
That's enough to kill that one as well. They are weak little kobolds. Yes. Yes.
Yes, you're lucky. You're first. And he'll crack his lower set of knuckles.
So we just have the one kobold left at this stage. And it is Barney's turn. He's gonna stagger out. You're a nasty looking little creature, ain't you? And he is going to shoot him with a bow. It's annoying me how his rolls aren't showing up in the game log. He misses anyway with an 8. So that makes it Hilda's turn.
Yeah, no, Kiri. You think maybe he's fudging the rolls so that we can feel awesome?
Oh, I'm doing the kobolds in front of you, aren't I?
That's true.
Don't know why Barney's not showing up because I put him in the group. All right, now Hilda. What is Hilda doing?
My turn now?
Hilda's got a good lineup on one remaining.
Still one up. Unfortunately, I got my shield and quarterstaff out. Do I have enough movement to get over there and make an attack?
Is it 30 feet? 30 feet for Hilda. So, let's have a look. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can get there in 25 feet.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll go over there and make an attack. Give me just a second. I'm making a white sauce here for dinner. So I gotta run back to my computer and hit the quarterstaff attack.
As you do.
That's what I had to do. That's why I disconnected there for a moment. And I'm not on camera because... okay. Actions... quarterstaff to hit.
And they're with fairy fires.
Oh yeah, with advantage.
Yep.
So I guess I'll just do another one. I don't know how this works. It was a 13 and a 21.
Well, the 21's going to hit.
I'm only wielding one-handed, so let me throw out that damage there. 6 total damage.
Right there.
Bludgeoning with it. Half.
It collapsed in a spray of red blood, which is unusual for these kobolds.
And Hilda lets out a solid die, foul beast, with a resounding whack with the staff.
All right.
And then we'll turn to see if anyone needs any healing, any medical attention. End turn.
I believe we are all unscathed. I guess this is our first triumph. Yeah, and so just to confirm, the rooms are like very visibly different different bricks, different color,
Correct.
different like style.
Gingerbread room.
Made of gingerbread?
Yep.
Oh. So I was going to ask if like the quality of the air is different, like if it was warmer, more humid, or moist.
Smells like freshly baked gingerbread.
Is the temperature noticeably different from the other room as well? I mean, there was lava flowing, so of course it was. It's a silly question.
Not really. The air is still. There's lightning flickering in the background.
Oh, right. So
It's open air. There's no roof.
and yet there are stairs.
Yes, stairs that go to nowhere.
Oh, Well, companions, what do you think? I would infer we must attempt to leave this room. I mean, we could go back the way we came, but what else? Any other forms?
Meek would like to go and inspect the mushroom chairs and the table area.
So, the chairs look like they're actually real mushrooms, but nice and sturdy enough to be able to actually sit on, yet the top of the toadstools is soft enough to provide a comfortable seats.
Perhaps we should
Portobello.
get your priest over here. And Miguelopolo will go and sit on the toadstool for a moment with a deep breath.
Alright, you find it's very, very comfortable. It looks like you could quite easily sit here and have a nice, wonderful meal. You've got 4 ceramic plates. You've got a brass candlestick and 4 brass goblets.
The puddles of blood are still on the floor, right?
So one of the kobolds had blue blood, one had green blood, one had red blood, one had gold blood.
Hey, I didn't catch the kobold turn. No one got injured, right?
Nobody got injured.
Meek is quite injured because he doesn't have a lot of health.
Right.
He's about half health.
You did
He
get
took
hit.
damage.
Yeah, probably not worth healing at this point, but he is damaged.
I can definitely spend an action to heal you for 1d6 plus, I think 4. I think my spellcasting modifier. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else. I'd have to check the healing feat. And then you can also expend any number of hit die, I think. So if the 1d6 plus whatever doesn't get you up to full, you can spend your one and only hit die.
That's a pretty good feat.
Yeah, it is.
Somebody this kid.
Meek would decline the healing at the moment, saying, I do feel less than 100%, but I feel like that might be a better use in an emergency situation.
While this is going on, acting on a hunch, Ariba would like to go to the Christmas tree opposite the Christmas tree that we entered in. I assume that he has no idea what Christmas is, perhaps not even what a tree is, but nonetheless, I would like to poke the wall behind it with my quarterstaff just to see what happens and maybe investigate it to see if there's anything odd about that wall.
Alright, give me an investigation check.
Right. Ooh, that is a 26.
Alright. Now you can't actually see anything strange about the wall itself. It's 10 foot high and made out of gingerbread. But you do notice, hanging off the tree, looks like a decoration that could actually be a ring.
A ring.
A ring.
What manner of bling is this ring? As a free action, can I eat a piece of gingerbread that I might have knocked from the wall while poking it with a stick? I'm an insect. I eat building materials.
Give me a D4 roll.
That would be a 2.
Alright, so it's made of gold. On the top of it, it has like a little V symbol. And then inside the V, you have a little amber gem.
So, just to clarify, maybe this is nothing, maybe this is symbolic, I don't know, but is this like it's like the letter V is engraved into it, and then sitting in the space between the tines of the V is like a small circular amber gemstone, or is it it's like a V-shaped gem?
The V is in gold, and then you got the little V placed on top, made of gold, and set inside so that it's flush with the golden V. You've got the little gem of amber.
Okay. Tempting. Oh, what the hell? You only live once. Reba will reach out How big? I don't suppose this ring is big enough that he could pick it up with. Oh wait, I have thieves' tools. Can I pick the ring up at the end of with a pair of pliers just to see?
Sure. No worries. Easily done.
And does it seem to correspond with anything else I see in the room? Any V's or bits of amber?
You don't
They can-
see any other V's in the room.
Okay. I will stow it in the pocket that is very clearly on my person, if not on the model. And ask and suggest that someone else do something while I'm poking a wall.
Meek will stand up.
We're out of initiative.
Oh, we're out of initiative?
Yeah.
Okay. Meek will stand up and do a walk on over to that pile of green blood. And would he be able to make a nature or we'll say arcana, because green blood is weird for kobolds, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. He wants to do a magic arcana check to see what's going on with that pile of green blood.
All right, do it.
There are 4 dead kobold, like piles of kobold,
There is.
puddles of kobold. Okay.
Since it seems like these other guys are getting into searching this area for clues on perhaps how to get out or what's going on, Hilda will go over to an unoccupied area that seems out of the way and sit with her back up against a pillar or a wall or something and promptly fall asleep, as all people in the military can do on command.
Yeah.
She came here 12 hours into her 8-hour shift.
No actual proper beds, but you find it's actually quite comfortable sitting on the stairs because they're sort of soft. They're sort of made out of gingerbread, and you sort of sink into it.
All right.
All right, so that Arcana check 8. You don't see, you don't feel as there's any magical reason for its blood to be green. It looks pretty natural, but just green.
Would he be able to then make a nature check on it, assuming whether or not it's not magical, he doesn't get a vibe that's magical? Would he be able to make a nature check to see if he can figure out a natural reason why it might be green?
Yep, go for it.
Wow.
No idea. No
Yes.
idea.
I believe this kobold may have had a bit too much broccoli before it died.
Ariba will peer at the pools and peer at the table and say,
Well, last room was a puzzle, and kobolds having different shades of blood is certainly a puzzle. Maybe we're supposed to put the kobolds on the dinner table. And in a spirit of experimentation, he'll try to scoop some of the green kobold into one of the goblets, I suppose.
Yum.
See if it does anything.
All right, you managed to fill a bowl with it.
Oh,
It really does look pretty gross.
that's disgusting. I wonder how it tastes. No, I'm not going to try.
Does anything seem to happen in the room with this grisly action?
Nah, you just hear a little bit of lightning in the background, thunder rolling across.
Can I do the same with the other 4 colors?
If you wish.
He would probably also do it with the goblets if there's any left, or just pour them into the goblets. Just he's fiddling with it just to see if it works.
That's all right. I won't worry about making the visuals. But yeah, you get muck on your fingers. It gets inside the ridges of your carapace. It feels yucky.
Oh,
You managed to pretty well paint the table with grime.
well, that did nothing.
Off in the distance, you hear a cat's meow.
Did anyone else hear a cat?
Well,
They're
you're-
delicious.
Except for the one who's asleep.
No. This is very odd.
Barney takes the seat.
Mikolopolo, being an expert researcher, will look in the direction of the cat and utter the magical command word and attempt to call it over.
I think that's the Fast Friends cantrip.
Nothing happens. You can't hear the cat noise anymore. It sounded like it came back, came from in the portal room.
Oh. Ariba will just peer around and very cautiously put the gold and amber. He'll draw Meek's attention to it. I found this on the tree. Me luck, and he'll very gingerly put it on one of his claws.
All right.
See if it does anything.
It looks like it wouldn't really fit very well, but as you actually move it across, it actually expands and then sits nice and comfortably on there. There's some sort of magic about this device, this ring. Obviously not just ornamental. You don't feel any different for wearing it?
He'll make very vague, tentative flapping gestures at the walls one by one to see if they do anything.
Yeah, nothing. Got no idea what it's going to do.
Well, magical though this ring may be, it seems that it has done nothing. Perhaps we should investigate the other room.
Another suggestion to us. The other room had 4 doors. This has only but one, the one that we entered. Perhaps we must eat our way through the gingerbread.
I attempted to eat a piece of gingerbread earlier. Just to clarify, was that
It was tasty.
Oh, it was tasty. Oh,
Yeah, someone knows
Is
how to make
their
their
blood
gingerbread.
just pools of gumdrops?
No, it's obviously blood. These kobolds are not, what do you call it, reminiscent of the room itself. Everyone
They just have different colored blood for
Yeah.
some reason. I didn't catch everything.
Yep, different colour blood. And we've had some examinations on the blood to see if there's any magical properties or anything like that. Nothing's been picked up. It just looks like blood, but different colours. Ariba found a magic ring hanging from the tree behind him.
I forgot to pack identify this morning, so I have no time to know what it does until we take a short rest. I assume. I have detect magic. That does nothing right now. Oh.
Well, companions, I have a bit of a proposition. If you care to do nothing for 10 minutes, well, conscious companions, I should say, I have the wherewithal to perceive magic, but in order to save myself some energy, which we may need, it would take me about 10 minutes. Would you prefer to simply hasten from this room or do this final check?
For
not
what
comfortable.
it's worth, you can involve Hilda in these things. Mechanically wise, I'm not getting the benefit of a long rest or a short rest here. This is just flavor, so it's not really a big deal if you wake her up. That being said, anyways, fine, you know.
Ariba actually does not sleep. Rykkreen don't sleep, so he just assumes you're either dead. You're dead. There's a good chance. I'm really playing up the ignorance, considering I have an intelligence of 20, so that probably doesn't make any sense, but it sounds funny.
Barney calls out, the gingerbread of the lanterns is nice and warm. It's very tasty.
Oh boy. He's eating the lamps. Oh boy. Does anyone care if I just take a moment, do a ritual to cast detect magic, or would we prefer to just press on?
Go for it.
Mikalopoulos says, "Oh, good sir, please, allow me." And he wants to begin ritual casting detect magic as well. as he believes he's helping you.
We'll both cast detect magic, and for 10 minutes we can stuff.
All right.
Here's an interesting question. And I know it's a silly question, but it does bear asking. So, James, it says the spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood and/or dirt. Where does gingerbread fall on the wall?
It goes straight through it.
Ooh.
Gingerbread is porous.
Ooh. What do I perceive as Ariba makes a slow stroll around the room and also peering at this very ominously resizing ring?
What is the range of it?
I can sense magic within 30 feet. Use my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic. It also, that's contradictory because it also says that the spell penetrates barriers.
Alright, so you can actually see as you walk around a small glowing object within the Christmas tree on the back wall, and you can actually see two of them on the Christmas tree at the front.
Ah. I will go and I will draw Meek's attention to this, and I will go investigate the tree that I have already investigated on the hunch that I think I know what this might be.
Okay. You can see another little ring hanging a little bit deeper into the tree. You wouldn't have seen it before. Roll me a d4.
That'd be a 3.
It'll be a 3. This one is identical, but instead of an amber gem, it has a lapis lazuli, the blue gem.
Ooh. I will pick. As Meek makes his investigations, Ariba will pick this ring up in his pliers, and then take it over and place it on
You won't. As
I
you
won't.
try to pick it up, your tweezers go straight through it.
Fascinating.
Are you dead? He broadcasts directly at Hilda, trying to wake her up. If not, come put on this ring.
Not yet. Hilda will get up, looking a little stiff. This isn't a good place to be sleeping. Stairs, even if they are soft. All right, crack her neck, and briskly walk over to you with purpose.
That would be Cookie Neck.
What do you need me to do now?
Put this on one of your appendages. This.
And Ariba will point at it.
You can see a ring. It's gold. It has a golden V sticking up on the top of it, and within the center of the V is a little lapis lazuli gem.
I'm kind of wondering if I should be offended here that you're trying to give me a ring here without even taking me out for dinner or anything. But also, you're a bug thing, so
Yes.
I don't know how a person's supposed to react to a situation like this, alright? I take the ring, I guess.
Ariba will make it even more awkward. But
Look, I already have one. You should try that one.
I'll reach out and try and pick up the ring. Trying to avoid putting it on any fingers that would signify any sort of commitment beyond what I've already promised to these people.
Alright, it comes off the tree nice and easily. Feels like any ordinary ring would.
Seems simple enough. Why'd you have to wake me for that?
Well, I tried to grab it, and it wouldn't work because I already have one. Apparently that's a
If-
thing.
If he reaches out to try and show me, will his hand go through it now that I've picked it up?
Do you try?
sure,
Yep.
he'll poke at it.
It doesn't. It's insubstantial to you.
I will give your hand a quick smack at the second time you try and poke it after the first, and then turn and look at it closely and say, interesting. You know, the kind of one that you would expect someone who's used to someone who's untrained coming up, trying to poke at a wound or something, smack him away, wash your hands type of deal.
I don't carry human diseases.
What's half of the diseases he does carry?
That's not making a good case for your side, alright?
Bearded one. There should be a ring in that tree. We should put it on. Join us in wearing rings.
Hey, what? Hey? What'd you say? Yeah?
Beard's on fire.
No,
See,
it's not.
Stuff a
I
little too
believe there is
close.
a ring in that tree. You should put it on.
But there is a little bit of fire that's dripping onto the floor.
You're burning the delicious room.
Doesn't seem to be spreading.
Can I put it out by blasting it with Ray of Frost, like in Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, sure. Consider it gone.
I'll put it out.
Can I put it out by spraying it with poison spray, like in my imagination?
Oh boy.
All right, he comes over. Eh? What are you talking about? More food? Or something to drink?
Like, and Ariba will, like, since it's telepathic, it's the exact same volume and level of interference as he was when he went over there. So he's really confused and like just backing up. He's like, there's a ring on that tree, over there. Put it on.
Oh, okay. Let's have a look.
Ease.
Oh, yeah, so there is. Barney's going to roll a d4.
You're inspiring me to do a voice for this character. I don't know if anyone's ever seen any videos from Puffin Forest on YouTube, but the voice of Trixie Starbright is coming to mind for this character now.
Oh dear.
Barney finds an amber ring and puts that on. He goes, oh, pretty.
Oh dear.
Meek will go over to Barney and say, "My good man, is there perhaps a ring in there for me as well? I would hate to be separate from the group which I am here to assist."
Goes, I don't know, I didn't look.
Thank you, sir. And then Meek will low bow and then walk over to the tree look for himself.
Characters are always so polite.
All right, you roll me a d4.
The gingerbread golem appears.
All right. You get a jasper colored ring.
Ooh.
Jasper
Better.
red, if I'm not mistaken.
Jasper is red, correct.
Better than a gingerbread golem. Now that we've all taken the rings, another person appears with a ring, and they say that we're now Power Rangers, and we have gingerbread Zoids
Oh, God.
that can all combine together.
No.
Ariba will like watch and wait for something to happen.
All right, nothing happens.
That other people can't touch or take.
Meek, recognizing patterns, will go slide the ring on his finger and then stick his hand in the red pool of blood.
Ariba will poke the yellow one as well.
All right, you get mucky blood that's starting to congeal on your ring.
He looks at Ariba walking past him and says, "I had the same thought, and I don't think it does anything." And then shows him his bloody, mucky hand. And then,
Thank you for sharing, very kind.
The trouble with these things is you need a passcode to make them work, and they never come with instructions. One time I got this one, and it took me 2 years to find out that the passcode was in darkest night, in brightest day.
Are there any other sources of magic in the room that we can perceive as we're walking around, James, or is it just like the rings?
Just the rings.
Okay. Out of curiosity, what the spell implies that we can tell what kind of magic it is? Like, let me just make sure I know what I'm talking about.
What school of magic?
Yeah, what school of magic?
Conjuration.
Ariba will like walk up the stairs just to see what happens.
All right. As you're walking up, they start to crumble and your foot goes through them.
Yeah. I'll go back down the stairs.
They're made out of gingerbread, and it was already half crumpled in from somebody sleeping on it.
Well, having just recently woken up, Hilda will give a few good stretches and say loudly, "Well, nothing's happened for a while. I suppose we better pull another lever."
Before they go, Ariba will poke one of the mushrooms with the ring just to see what happens.
Okay, yep. But if you poke it into the top, it gives a little bit, and if you poke it in down the bottom, it's hard as wood.
Well, it was worth a shot. I guess leave the room.
Cool.
it's onward.
So, you're all back in the room, and nothing has changed as far as you can see, other than the closest lever there is depressed down to the ground, nearly to the ground. Pity they don't give me the ability to move that lever around, but such is life.
Oh, weird.
Did Barney's attack hit earlier in that battle?
No, he didn't. He's a little bit drunk, so Oh, he seems to be anyway.
Okay, perfect.
And
Perfect,
he
perfect,
just missed
perfect.
everything.
Hilda wants to say, well, it certainly seems like you two, pointedly looking at Maya and Ariba, can handle yourself. Kind of stand in a way that makes Barney be in an awkward position for any conversation that might have here.
What are you getting at?
Oh, I said we should probably pull another lever.
Oh, yeah, go for it. Do you want me to do it?
Meek will say, "Oh no, Bonnie, allow me!" And Meek will walk over and to the demon behind him and pull that lever.
So this one over here?
Yes, let's work as a team. Yes, and a 1 and a 2 and a pull. He'll pull.
Alright, now I want you to...
Does the other door close?
No,
I'm
but this door will open. Alright.
gonna step away for just a sec, gents. Should be back in a minute.
Mick, you pulled the lever, so you roll the 10-sided dice for me.
Solid 1.
A solid 1. Initiative roll.
Ah!
Ariba has a 23. Mick has a 17.
Ooh, see, those first two bad initiative rolls were for this. Okay, I got a dirty 20.
I've got a funny feeling I'm just going to try something here.
God, he's trying something.
Alright, initiative. It did make a difference. Barney's back on the screen.
And beating me out for it, too.
We have Ariba first.
So Ariba will move up to the door enough to peer around the corner. And while it looks like his staff is glowing, presently it isn't. He's just going to have a massive ant-like silhouette. Against what I assume is a dark room.
So, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15. You're going just to the beginning of the door, are you?
Yeah, I just want to be able to peer around the corner and see what's to be seen.
Alright.
Ah,
It looks
frogs.
like beyond a bit of a ruinous building, and there are... Does anybody recognise the creatures straight off the bat?
I assume they're grungs, but I don't know that Ariba would necessarily.
Alright, you're getting flashes of knowledge, but your actual history is gone. I'm happy for you to make a survival roll to determine exactly what they are.
Sure.
Is it dark in the room?
No.
That would be a 10.
I had 10 as my base thing, and so they're bullywogs.
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 With a 10, what do I know of bullywogs?
Just the name. Frog-like creatures.
Do they look that mean?
Well, they're brandishing weapons, and they're talking in some sort of language.
Well, in that case, I will brandish a ray of frost into the one that I can see.
So, pop you there, because we're on a square,
30-20.
and that's the one you can see. The gold bullywog is the one you can see.
Oh. How interesting.
So, you are doing a ray of frost, did you say?
Yeah.
So that is a roll to hit of 20. Yep. Let's have a quick look here, double check. Yep, easily hit.
It is 5 cold damage.
And that is to the gold one.
He's within 60 feet, right?
Double check. 5, 10,
Otherwise,
15,
I would
20,
assume
25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, dead on 60.
Oh, good.
He's at maximum range. Alright, so
Yeah,
that was
and,
5 points of damage on gold.
And I will pass the turn from there. After saying,
Let us fire on them and see if they can enter this room.
Is he slowed?
yeah, he loses 10 feet.
Yeah, that strikes him pretty hard, and he doesn't look happy about that damage. So now we have a Barney coming up. Hold my beer.
Aribo, can as a free action I take one of his beers?
He's actually got to go in to be able to get to them. And there's a few more here. And he is going to use his bow. So green. So long bow. He gets a 23 to hit. He must be sobering up. He does 5 points of damage as well on his bullywog. Alright, slams into the bullywog's guts. and he screams and howls in pain, but he's still standing.
2 shots.
Now
Interesting.
we have Hilda.
All right. Hilda will move up. I don't really want to go in and be a front line, but I don't have my crossbow out. Decisions. Here comes my turn. I pride myself on trying to be decisive and making quick turns. I don't know what to do. I'll run in. I'm going in. 30 feet should get me in there, right? I'm trying to decide if I should dash or not.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30 gets you right just inside the change of flooring.
Yeah, I see. All right.
From there, you can see.
So I could dash and go up to the right and block it off, so only one could come up to there and they couldn't like multiple move through to that side. Or I could take the dodge action right here, right now. Give the rest of the squad a little time to roll up. Maybe push past, Now I'll do it. I'll dash. I'm going to dash over to it. You see the spot I'm talking about on the right side? 5, 10, 15, 20 feet.
Alright, 5,
we're
10,
all
15,
right
20.
right in between where the debris is.
Oh, just here.
The only gap there.
And then there.
Yep. And I've got just shield and quarterstaff out here.
Cool.
And that's my turn.
Alright, now we have Mick's turn.
Meek will move 5, 10, 15 feet behind the bug.
Yep.
And
This bug is big.
This
The bug
bug
is
is
big.
large. Move 5, 10, 15 feet forward.
Ariba is many things. He is not a door, nor a window.
And he will point to the bullywug directly in front to his left.
Yep.
Yes, that one there. And will put his hand to his head and shoot out a blast of purple energy, casting the cantrip Mind Sliver.
Mind Sliver.
Yeah.
That is an intelligence save by that. I think it's the blue one.
The blue one, yep.
Yep, intelligence save of 14.
14. Let's have a look here. 6. He fails. What does Mind Sliver do?
It is a 1d6 of psychic damage. Rolling that now. That is wow. This is the third one in a row that I rolled. 1 psychic damage. In addition to that, it receives a 1d4 debuff to the next saving throws it makes. So I'm going to roll that 1d4 now, and that is a 1 again. Wow, what is going on here? So that is 1 point of psychic damage.
Sound a lot like Kier.
He's like, he will actually take his wand and slap it a couple times and say, "I believe in my functioning here," and just like start waving it around, trying to get it jump started again.
Gilderoy Lockhart.
That was only 1 point of damage, wasn't it?
Yep, 1 point of damage and a -1 to the next saving throw it makes.
-1 debuff to next save.
My last 5 rolls are a 1 on a 1d10, a 1 on a 1d6, a 17 on a d20, a 1 on a d6, and a 1 on a d4. So I got a 20 coming up here pretty soon.
So, let's work through the Bullywug turn. This guy here is going to move forwards, do an attack on Hilda, and he's going to do a bite attack. 5 to hit. Now he gets multi-attack, so he's also going to stab you with his spear.
Ooh, gotcha.
So 13 to hit on Hilda.
I'm sorry. I have armor class of 17.
Alright, that's a miss. Alright, that's Bullywug first turn. Alright, then we go speed 20. 5, 10, 15, and 20. And his closest person to attack is Hilda as well. But he can't get a bite attack in because of the distance. So, +3 to hit. 18 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
We're going to do 7 points of damage to Hilda.
Okay.
Ooh, in the words of the old church ladies, oofta.
As the red one comes up on her, she lifts up her shield, and kind of staves off that. And then the other one comes over to the side and makes an attack, and she's unable to respond to it. It kind of glances along her arm and shoulder, holding the shield.
Jarring her. Alright, now we have the blue one. 5, 10, 15, 20. And he is in line of sight for Mick, who he's going to throw a spear at. 15, 20. He's going to get that at disadvantage. And even at disadvantage, he rolls a 15 to hit on Mick.
Meek will panic as it comes close to him, and then remember his wand that was malfunctioning and say, "What?" and just throw up like a little magic ward as a cast shield, and it deflects the spear.
Beautiful, beautiful. Then we have another one. 5, 10, 15. And this one can actually see Barney. He's going to attack Barney. And he is 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep, he's going to get disadvantage as well. 7, he misses Barney. Alright, that is Bullywug's turn done. Now we are back to Arriba.
I suppose just standing where I am, I will blast the bullywug I can see through the door with another beam. Cool.
You got a good shot there with him. So go and have that attack. So that is the gold one.
Ooh, that is a 10.
That is not enough to hit. Anything else we're doing in this round?
Not at this time.
He actually has to go back a little bit because he had slower movement. Alright, so that means it is now Barney's turn. So Barney's going to have another shot, and this is going to be a green because he's the easiest to see. Double checking. Yep. Longbow shot. That is a 12 to hit, which misses. Oh, whoopsie. Whoopsie. And now we have Hilda's turn again.
All right. So this red one right here, Hilda is going to cast Poison Spray. She'll take her quarterstaff and bring one end of it up to her mouth and exhale deeply, causing a sickening yellowish green smoke to come forward off of a copper rod sticking out of her quarterstaff. I need a Constitution saving throw, DC 15, where they take 1d12 poison damage.
Alright. They roll a 12.
Okay, so they will take 1 poison damage.
And this one was uninjured previously.
And that's my turn.
Now we have Mick again.
Alright, so Mick hit the blue one with the Minesweeper last time. Does he have line of sight of the blue one this time?
I'll say yes.
He will reach out, touch his head, or touch the side of his head again, and again fire a purple blast at the blue one. For an intelligence save, 14, -1 from the previous Minesweeper.
Can we perceive the color of the bullywugs? Like, is the gold one actually gold, or is that just like the content of the bullywug?
That's just what I'm using at the moment for defining which one is which, and rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm using colours.
Yeah.
3, -1 is 2, so he failed his intelligence check.
2 psychic damage, and give him a -2 as well to his next saving throw.
Alright, and that's your turn, is it?
Meek will also back 5 feet out of the doorway and say, Insect Man, I believe you are of the right state of mind in this fight to avoid them entirely. And he will park his caboose right next to Arriba.
There.
Yeah, there we are.
Beautiful. So now we have the bullywugs get to have their attack. So we'll go red first. He gets to have 2 attacks because he gets bite and spear. So we'll do bite attack on Hilda first.
Shouldn't they be coming after me?
The red one.
Shouldn't I look tasty?
Well, you're actually almost out of sight of some of them, and they move slowly, actually. They have a 20-foot movement rate because they're out of water.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah. And they are actually dripping a little bit as well. It's like they had been in water until you press that lever. So that was an 18 to hit with a bite.
Hits.
He does 5 points of damage.
All right. I am down.
Oh, snap.
My.
Let's go an intelligence roll to see if he thinks to stab the corpse. 10 and above and he stabs the corpse. He got a 14, so he stabs the corpse. That is advantage to hit.
Yep.
Thank you. 14 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. He stabs and slightly misses.
Stabs right into my breastplate.
And he goes in frustration. I'm quite happy. Someone just passed me a beer.
Nice.
So then we have the second one that does a move. 1 and 2. Because he is slowed. Go 1. And he's actually going to chuck a spear at Barney.
So do they have more than one spear?
Ah, good point. All three on the left chuck their spears, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Only the red one who was fighting me up close was just stabbing me with the spear.
Yep, gotcha. I will pay that one. So then we have green go 1, 2, 3, 4. And he does a bite attack. So he gets a 15 to hit. Barney is 15, so he's going to hit on Barney. Bite. Better. He does 2 points of damage to Barney. Then we have the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as he can get. And he's a little bit frustrated because he can't get into combat.
Bullywugs are murlocs.
Well, they speak similar language, so that's all the Bullywogs done. So now we have Ariba's turn again.
So I would like to move up so where I am. If you are you using the flanking rules?
Yes, I am, most certainly.
All right. I would like to move so that Barney and I are flanking green, and then I would like to use Shocking Grasp on the frog, who is wet! It makes a mechanical difference, but yeah, it's fun.
It certainly is. So, attack with advantage.
Ooh, 18.
That is a hit, and that's on green.
Beautiful.
I know I am.
We'll do him 5 lightning damage.
5.
Bazappa. Bugs zapping things.
He seems to be on death's door, this one, but he's still standing.
Good.
Do you do anything else in this round?
I don't really want to cast. I could cast Sanctuary, but I really don't want to because I have a feeling that other people are not as good at being attacked as I am. So I am just going to. Oh, he has advantage. How much movement was that? 20?
You were
Total?
there, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can't move diagonal past a person.
Okay.
25.
So with the flanking, they have to be able to draw a line across the
that's
center of
my
my base.
understanding. Yep.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna shuffle to the right so that I have my back to the wall.
Unless you've got like the pack tactics.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shuffle to the right and put my back to the wall so that I can't be flanked by the turds in the room. A very cool sweeping spin from the bug.
So you're saying you're moving across to here,
Yeah.
which effectively takes you out of the range of 2 bullywugs.
Oh, so
Actually,
the
sorry,
green one
one,
doesn't
sorry.
get attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, the green one won't, but the blue one will.
Yeah.
So you happy with that move?
Yep.
Yep. So attack of opportunity from blue with a bite is a 15 armor class.
That will not hit me.
All right. He snaps his jaws at you, drools spitting out on you, but he still doesn't do any damage.
No bugs.
Now we have Barney, who is going to drop his bow and pull out a short sword. So he's going to have a swing. So 15 armor class. He hits them. Does with his short sword.
Awesome stuff.
6 points of damage on Green Bullywug. and he does a beautiful move, sort of like drops his bow, pulls his sword out, and as he's pulling it out, slices the thing's head off. Almost going through and clanging off the wall next to the bullywog. And it explodes in a spray of green blood.
I'm sensing a pattern here, Ron.
Barney goes, "Oh, I'll drink to that." And then he looks around and he can't find anything to drink.
Drank it all. Gave it all away.
Ah,
Very
well.
nice of him.
And that makes it Hilda's turn. We need a death save.
That is a success.
That is a success. So we have no fails, one success. Very good, very good. Just that symbol there for being down.
Dune.
That was Hilda's turn. Now we have Mick again.
Alright, Mick is going to, object interaction, take his little wand and stick it through his ponytail like a chopstick in a bun. And he will move 5 feet to the right. Then 5, 10, 15 feet up forward. The bullywug. Using an action to draw a dagger and stab him in the stomach as part of the attack action. It is a very nicely crafted elven dagger.
I'm happy with that.
I would only stab you with the most elegant weapons.
That is a 12 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay. And he will use his bonus action to attack with his elven scimitar that he had on his offhand.
Yep,
That is a 18 to hit.
that is a hit.
There we go. That is a 1 plus 3 piercing damage from the short sword.
So 4 total.
Yes.
Alright, he looks quite injured. Blue blood is spilling out of the wounds you've just given him. And is that the end of your turn?
He will, as he does that, when he runs through, he runs and does like a little cartwheel to this knife stab and then the sword slash too.
Of course.
As an elegant elf might do. And it says, "I'm sorry, but there are times when magic is not always the answer." And he will end his turn there.
Now we have the bullywugs. Blue, of course, is going to attack the person right in front of him. A bite. That is a 13 to hit.
That is just enough to hit.
Okay. 3 damage.
Ooh, I am not down.
I am going to make another intelligence roll. 10 or above, he will attack the corpse. He will attack the corpse.
Oh dear.
So with a bite at advantage.
Oh dear.
Natural 20.
Ouch.
Very ouch. Crit damage. It doesn't really matter anyway because it's two death saves, isn't it? And then we'll do a spear attack at advantage.
James is out to get us.
Oh,
With bullywug.
you want to bet? With a 2 and a 1 on the dice, he gets a maximum of 5 to hit, which of course would miss. And he wasn't here for it. Alright, Jake, while you were out of the room, the bullywog made an intelligence roll and decided he was going to attack the corpse. With his bite, he got a natural 20 to hit.
Okay.
So it's basically 2 death saves straight away. And then he stabbed down at you with his spear. And he rolled a 2 and 1 on the dice. And out of 5, I gather that's not a hit.
Nope.
So you're on 1 save and 2 fails.
2 failures.
At this stage. This bullywog seems determined to put you out of its misery. And then that bullywog... Oops.
We'll kick the chair.
That's a good idea. Good observation. Kicks the chair, and as his action, and then moves 2 spots, and then goes to there. Now he did his action to move the chair, so he is not going to actually do an attack. Lucky boy, or lucky bug, I should say. And that is that round done. So now we have a new round. We are starting with Arriba.
So, can I move through the space with that pillar there?
No.
Or is there not enough room? Okay, yeah. Ugh. Rat.
If the pillar was across the line, I would say yes. Like for instance, this one
Yeah.
is across the line,
Yeah.
so you can get on either side of it. But if it's fully in the line, then that's got its spot.
So I would like to move, provoking attack, an attack of opportunity. Move to the. I will move in a knight-style L shape to get behind to the upper right square from behind the bullywug. Not that I can move through him, but I'll just move around him so that I don't
10,
only provoke the
15,
blue attack
20,
of opportunity.
25.
Yeah.
So you're only getting one attack of opportunity.
Yeah.
And it's with a bite. For a 12 to hit.
No. And Ariba will, like, very callously just plant a foot solidly on Hilda's back or chest or whatever it is that she's lying on, and spread all four arms in just this very menacing, make myself look big, hissing gesture, and with one of its free hands will perform a short series of very short gestures, casting Cure Wounds. Let's see. Yeah, I have 7 hit points.
Nice. At level 1, that's a full health bar.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And with my arms spread, getting all hissy at the bullywugs, I'll pass the turn.
Alright, so that means it's Barney's turn.
I'll remove my foot, by the way.
Use a object interaction to draw a second short sword. And then he's going to move here so that he can use flanking on the gold bullywog. The attack with advantage is a 21 to hit, doing 5 points of damage on the yellow, and he did 5, and that bullywog was on death's door. Blood, golden blood flowing out of him freely, but he is still standing. Then he does his offhand with a bonus attack with his second sword. 1 point of damage, but also decapitates the head of this one, which explodes in a spray of gold blood.
Gross.
Quite.
Squirt down that hole in the floor there.
Next we have Hilda, who is now prone.
Have my movement to stand up.
Yep.
And then I'm going to once again use poison spray.
Alright, that's a saving throw, isn't it?
And I've realized since then that my saving throw was wrong. It's not 15, I don't know why I thought it was. It's 14, DC 14.
DC 14.
Constitution.
Constitution.
Right.
6. It fails.
And so we will roll a 1d12 again, and another 1. Poison sprays don't like me.
Yeah.
Is there any way to reset this spot?
Yeah. Alright, the one you're facing seems to be the toughest one left. So, Hilda, do you have any other options in this round? Nope. Alright, so that means it moves on to Mick.
Alright. So Mick is going to I am going to then bonus action stab at bad boy in front of me with the short sword.
Yep, go for it.
That is a 16 to hit.
16 is a hit.
And the short sword is a 5 because I do not add the ability modifier in it. So 5 piercing damage from the short
5
sword.
piercing damage that actually kills it. It explodes in a flash of blue blood.
Okay. So, for prettiness sake, this is what happens. He takes the sword, bonus action, and slices it clean through the center, and then hops and backflips over the dead body, 10 feet forward. Dropping to one knee to action throw the dagger at the remaining bullet. Because that sounds a really cool way of doing it.
Of course. You gotta have the rule of cool.
That is a 21 to hit on the dagger throw.
That hits.
Dealing another 1 for 4 total piercing damage.
Alright, this one is still standing and looking angry.
And Meek will end his turn there.
Now it is the bullywog's turn.
His elven hair gracefully blowing in the non-existent one.
And he only has one target to attack.
Very elegant.
He goes in for a bite on Hilda. and he rolls a 22 to hit on Hilda with a bite,
That hits.
doing 4 points of damage with his bite. Then he stabs down with his spear, which he hasn't been very good at so far.
You said 4 or 5?
4 for the bite,
Okay.
and he stabs with a spear for a hit armor class 16.
Nope, that misses.
That misses. He prefers to eat his enemies rather than pick them up with a utensil. All right, and that is the only go a bullywog gets. So we are back to Bugman.
I'm firing my laser. That would be a 23 with a ray of frost.
That hits.
And that is cold.
All right, describe its death.
So as the bullywug is beginning to recoil back from its spear thrust at Hilda, Ariba comes up and makes the arcane gesture of cold, blasting a beam of absolute zero into the chest of the bullywug, who just suddenly and completely freezes. And as he was off balance when he took the blow, he just topples over and shatters like a Christmas turkey dipped in liquid nitrogen, which I know doesn't happen, but
and coloured with red flavouring.
Yummy.
So-
Everyone likes off on the Thanksgiving turkey.
This one explodes in a splash of crimson red blood ice cubes. Pop with that, you drink and scull it. You hear Barney say in the background, "Ha ha!" Now, with the death of that, you actually hear like a loud lightning strike, and then a humming noise that starts up.
Hilda looks at the now dead bullywog in a puddle and exclaims, "Poison finally got to it."
I'm sure that's the case.
All right, you're out of initiatives now.
So, did this vibrating noise come from the room behind us, or just
the room
the
behind
general
you.
atmosphere? Oh, and do we perceive, since I assume detect magic it would still be up at this time? Do we perceive anything interesting in this room? Any more bling?
All right. Let's say with effects. And we'll go to Will-O-Wisp effects in front of this container. Let's have a look here. That container. And that container. So there's basically 3 cupboards that are all smashed and broken, but you can sense magic within all 3 of them.
Hilda would like to take this chance as they search the room to use one use of her healer's kit to tend to this bite wound in her shoulder that's been bitten multiple times and regain 1d6 plus 5 essentially.
Are we
One.
paid then?
So 6. I got 6 HP.
All right.
Almost at full. Not quite. Show me your injuries. I can.
Well,
He wipes the little bit of blue blood off of his face to reveal a layer of red blood all over underneath.
I will
Dungeon Elf.
do the same thing for you.
while they're doing that, Ariba will check out the furthest cupboard, see what's to be seen.
All right.
It's 7.
Perfect. I am exactly up to full now.
I haven't been hit yet!
All right, Ariba. I want you to roll me a 4-sided dice and a 20-sided dice.
Oh, we got a 1 on the d4 and an 18 on the d20.
All right. You might like this. It is a cloak of elven kind that you find in there.
That is, on one hand, very cool, and I will take it and peer at it. And do I immediately recognize it for what it is?
Let's say yes. You recognise it
Okay.
because I'm reading it out. Plus, it has a little label on it.
an interesting.
Got a tag.
It's got a tag.
I suppose I will hang on to it. But I will tell my companions that I have found this very fine cloak of elven kind. Not at all considering the ramifications of telling an elf that I found a cloak of elf nearby. But it's I found
an
an
elf
elf
skin cloak.
as I put it away.
There may be other treasures here. And a cloak of elven kind I would gladly pass over to one of you if it would serve you better.
Because I can actually do that. Well, half of it. I can do half of it.
Alright, does anybody else go and have a look?
Meek will simultaneously, as him looking at that cabinet, will also look at the cabinet in the corner.
Same one or a different one?
The furthest one.
That one
I think
there?
there are two in that corner. Yeah, that's fine.
Alright, I want you to roll me a 4-sided dice and a 20-sided dice as well.
The 4 turned up a surprise, a 1, and the 20 turned up an 18.
Nice.
So a 1 and an 18.
Mhm.
That's actually been taken already, so re-roll for me.
We could have had matching cloaks.
That is a 1 and a 9.
And a 9. What the hell
Magic
is this?
cloaks. I go over and pop open a crate. Oh, it has 12 cloaks of elven kind.
The elven kind dealers.
This is actually the back room to a retail store.
If it's the cloak of the Archmagi, I think it's totally balanced. That's a good one for me.
He said, Staff of Power? No, that's perfectly balanced for us. What's that? You say it's a dragon egg. Perfect level 1 item.
Out of curiosity, does anyone else have proficiency with stealth? Or the cloak?
Nicolopolo definitely does not.
This is a really nice item. I've never actually read it before. It actually has the label on it as well, and when you pick it up, you instantly understand what it is. It is a Bloodwell Vial. Have you ever heard of that?
Ooh.
Bloodwell Vial +1.
That's a good one.
Does it require the class requirement as per Raw? Raw, it does require attunement by a sword.
Yes, so actually you
Okay.
guys may not be able to use it, but you may be able to sell it to somebody else at a later down the track. Requires attunement
Gotcha.
by a sorcerer.
That is a very nice item. Sure.
Yeah, consider it treasure.
Is it a +1, 2, or 3?
It's a +1.
And in response to your question about stealthiness, Hilda will stealthily move over to the nearest searchable cupboard or crate or such and such, and as she goes, she will smash stuff with her staff
Well,
to let you know how stealthy I am.
the nearest
checking.
searchable would probably be this chest over here.
Okay.
Alright. Now, I want you to roll me a D100. Oh, 11. That's not a very good roll. But you do find a small pouch in there with 11 pieces of gold.
Oh, nice.
You could have got up to 100 if you'd have rolled right. But that's
I would
right.
like to attempt to shamelessly skip Bernie and go for another one of the magical crates.
Barney is actually looking at his right next to him.
Yeah.
So I am going to actually give him a go. So let's...
Yeah. I'm gonna shamelessly rob the NPC.
I'm just saying, we're out of initiative, and he's got 4 arms, so...
He pulls out a big emerald gem.
Ooh.
And now he's got it in his hands, but you guys can see what he's got in him. If you make a...
We all share a look.
Yeah, if you can make a Arcana check at just 10 or above, I'll let you tell you what it is. Because he goes, oh, shiny, and slips it in his... Yep, one of you made it.
That was a 10 for
Yep,
me.
I'm happy with that.
I got a 19.
It is a emerald elemental gem.
Mm.
I will trade you these 10 pounds of rations for it.
So that was a bun.
Do you still have his beer?
I drank it by this point.
I'm sure a clever bug like you can figure out some liquid to fill that glass back up with, and deceive him into thinking it's a beer.
He makes a detour on the way to the next box, scooping up some of the dead bullywug in the tankard.
Looks
Wow.
like you got just enough to buy a beer.
Do you want Arriba to go to the other chest that was?
Sure, but, well, I'll go for the other magic one. But if it's
The other magic
something,
one?
yeah.
All right. So it's give me a 1d4 and a 1d20.
4 on the D20 and a 3 on the D4.
All right.
Something that gives somebody an extra pair of arms.
You can see a pair of gloves in there. You can't quite tell what they are.
Inspect them for a label and then gingerly pick them up.
All right. When you try to pick them up,
With pliers?
your hand passes through them.
Oh, delightful. Remember, I say, Hilda. Yes,
Yes?
you, bottled one. I believe there's something for you in this bin.
Okay, I'll go over and grab it. I'm going to dump the contents of this pouch out into my hands and go up to these two and say, I've also found some loot here. Perhaps we might divvy it up. I'm not necessarily being quiet. I will pass 3 gold to each of them out of this 11 gold.
It passes over okay.
And then I'll say I'll keep the extra 2 for the healing I did, and then I'll pass an extra 2 to Ariba and say, as payment for the healing you did. And then I'll reach in, pick up these gloves, and inspect them.
All right. They are gloves of missile snaring.
Nice. Do they fit?
They fit perfectly,
Shit, nice.
as if they were made for you.
Look at this, they even fit right over this ring that I put on.
Oh, it requires attunement. Are these automatically attuning to us?
No, they're not.
Wrong.
All right. Do you guys wish to do anything else in this room?
Yeah, I want to check out this hole in the ground.
All right. You can actually see it doesn't go down very far, but you believe you can see a small pouch.
Ooh.
Only about a couple of feet down.
I'm going to call out, hey Barney, come over here. I think I see something down here, but I don't think I can reach it. My arms just aren't quite long enough. I haven't attempted to try and reach it at all.
Barney. Oh yeah. All right. Let's go have a look. Yeah. Fine. We are here.
Not
And he
utilitarian at all.
stumbles to his knees, reaches down and pulls out a pouch, and you can hear clinking noises.
Push him in and put a table over the hole. I do not. But just know that I could have.
All right. He actually opens it up and he goes, "Oh, I got gold as well! Woohoo!" He counts out 27 gold, and he slips it straight back into his pocket next to the emerald gem.
Duly noted.
And anyone else want to have a decent look at anything in the room?
What are the big balls under the fireplace looking?
Who's looking at that?
The Ariba. Chili. Oh.
They look like perhaps a fire grate that has a hinge on it, so you can sort of like keep the fire out of visual range, and it heats the metal up and heats the rest of the room. Inside, you can see a whole load of ash.
Cool. With a cursory examination, is there anything I can in the crate through which I can see a massive hole?
Ah, there is a pouch in there.
Oh, I will retrieve said pouch.
Roll a D100.
60.
You find 60 gold pieces in that pouch.
Chee-hoo! Woot! I got money. How about that plate armor there? I can't wear it, but
That there is actually a statue.
oh,
Not actually armor, it's a statue.
interesting.
And the
With
head,
its busted off.
Okay,
the head is busted off, yep.
cool.
Someone didn't like that person.
But would you say by this point, having searched this room, that the detect magic would have worn off? And we didn't and through the searching we didn't find anything else.
Yeah, it'd probably be worn off by now because you've had a combat as well, and
Yeah. Well, companions, shall we move back to the room of levers and try our luck again?
Meek will run over and investigate that other broken ship.
You see that there table?
it looks like it might have drawers.
Oh yeah. How about the desk? Yeah.
Yeah. Meek will go over there and search in the drawers.
Alright, you find a pouch.
You get a pouch. You get a pouch.
I also want to point out here as he's rolling his D100, I did not see, Hilda specifically, did not see Barney make his attack in the beginning, alright? She was too far out of the room, didn't have a good line of sight. She saw him go in, knew that he made an attack, didn't know if he hit or not, alright? And then came in, went up and pretty much got downed, and then brought up by the bug person. So, and at that point, you know, like, turn around and see Meek killing the blue one, and Barney just kind of standing there. So impression of Barney, still not great. I, as a player, know that Barney did pretty good in that fight. Alright. Hilda, as the character, does not.
Alright, especially seeing he's staggering and looks like
Yes.
more like a drunk than an actual adventurer. Alright, anything else you guys want to do in this room?
Leave.
Alright, whose is walking out first?
I'll volunteer to go out. I mean, I haven't been hit yet, and I think I have the highest AC as well.
Alright.
I'm also the least personable.
When you get out here, you see that the portal is actually going again.
Companions, the portal lives!
Beyond
Yes.
it, you think you can see a really interesting looking, almost ancient temple with a huge pool of glimmering water, and it almost looks like you're looking back at yourself from the reflection of the pool, but it's really hard to see because it's all distorted and wavy and everything like that.
I will relate these images as well through the telepathic link while they make their lazy way here.
Lazy. Yeah. All right. And you're having a look in. All right. Anything else?
And yeah, but I'm worried about the repercussions of said actions. I kind of want to smash a statue, right? Alright. I wasn't kidding at the beginning.
I think... Yeah, I think character-wise, this is very visibly not where... Okay, yeah.
You
So
can't
Reba
remember
would just
where
turn to
you
everyone and
came
be like,
from,
well, companions, shall we go through? Or should we try our luck at these doors? I assume that we will open them and find 4 irritating creatures beyond them as well at this point. But they might contain goods, and he flaps his backpack, showing indicating the gold and the cloak. Goods are good. That's why they're goods. Shall we leave?
Meek will offer.
Barney just lets out a big ripper burp.
I think
You are
Hilda
not helping.
will follow your lead on this one.
Meek Meek in response will say, "It is the job of adventurers to adventurer, and it is the job of Abacatoons to protect them. I will follow where you lead."
All right. Well, unlike every other RPG ever, I have a feeling that nobody would actively want to explore every nook and cranny of a place when they could just leave. So Ariba will just nod to them and head through the portal
All right.
rather than grinding.
Ariba gets through, and you can actually sort of see him on the other side, looking around, and in a little bit of wonder. Wow. Anyone else follow? Barney does. Barney trips on the step as he goes through and actually goes through headlong.
I'd like to walk over, and if I can see Ariba, I'd like to motion for him to come back to see if he can come back through.
All right. He doesn't seem to take notice.
Oh, problematic.
Well, fuck that guy anyways. Fucking bug person ignoring me. Yeah, I'll also go through. It kind of seems like not really greatest idea to not at this point, right? I'll turn and look at Meek and say, "See you on the other side."
One left.
Meek chuckles and says, "Haha, what idiots! There is now less loot to share! I'm just kidding, that's an adventurer joke," and then realizes there's no one to hear him tell the joke, so he just walks on through.
All right. He's through.
Now that we are beyond, do we get to know? Are we ever? I can't really ask this question in such a way to find out the information I want to know without getting a potential spoiler. So I'm just gonna can it. I'm so curious what was in the other rooms.
4 black dragons and 4 tyrannosaurs.
Maybe.
Oh, that escalated quickly.
For everyone, when you make the decision to start walking towards the portal to go through it, Hilda kind of lets out a little sigh of relief. Nearly just died there. Not the type of person to leave you folks if you're gonna go and throw yourselves into danger, to just leave you on your own and go through a portal, but also not too interested in going through the other half.
Your mindfulness is much appreciated.
Seeing Ariba was first, I'll give him the actual vision. So, you are actually in a old temple, a little bit run down. On the outside, that is. Moss growing on some of the bits and pieces, some rubble, broken down bits. You've got some really pristine looking altars here with golden goblets. You can see a fount with really super clear liquids, and you can see the 2 statues, one being big and one being small. Now, you can actually see a building just outside the temple. And your friends all pop in as well.
As we get settled, does the portal remain open?
Nope.
Can I see through it?
The public bathhouse, the perfect place for bonding.
Although it would look like it's pretty deep, so it could be the perfect place for drowning too.
And companions, look, a hovel.
I've heard that is where the poor people live.
Yes, that is why I said it. It is not a palace. It is not a house. It looks like a hovel with a sign.
It looks like
perhaps we should investigate.
Looks like it used to be once a very fine-looking temple, and all the outside of it has worn away and rubbled, but all the interior is still pristine and clean and beautiful.
Interesting.
Can
Does-
can Meek make a religion check to see if he recognizes any religious markings or statues?
Alright, make me a religion check. This one will be a high one. 15. You don't recognise any names or anything like that to the creatures, these statues I mean. But one of them gives you the impression of the Hells, and the other one gives you the impression of the Abyss.
Oh. Oh. Meek would like the. It's not Meek. He would like to poke his staff through the entryway that seems to lead toward the hovel, just to see if anything, if there's something keeping us in the temple.
No, your stick comes out nice and smoothly, and the doors almost seem to be swinging a little bit in the breeze, like they are very well hinged, despite most of the outer building being falling down. The doors seem to be still in really good working order.
Can I read the sign on the door from there? The sign on the, well, outside the hovel. Damn.
Can you read that?
The Rising Monkey? Can I step closer?
You
So I can try.
You're able to get outside, and there's a nice forested area sort of thing. And you've got lightning flashing in the background.
The Flying Monkey.
The Flying Monkey.
Companions.
Does everybody stay here?
This hovel is called the Flying Monkey. Do any of you recognize where we are?
Unfortunately, the drums are not my area of expertise.
I don't know if I want to leave. The 4 cups here on these altars, and 4 of us seem strangely suspicious.
Barney just goes on ahead. He goes, this place looks like it's made for me. And he gets up there and opens up the door and disappears inside. And then you hear a squeal of glee. Oh, yes!
Arigo peers at everyone and says, at the other two, and says,
What were those noises? Were they sounds of joy? Of pain? Of humiliation? What were they? I'm not familiar with human emotion. Explain! Explain!
Come on in, old guys. All drinks all round. Drinks all round.
I believe you have found a treasure of alcohol.
I'd like to go back into the temple since I'm outside and do an Arcana check on the cups and this water and the little thing in between the altars, and also a medicine check on the water and the thing in between the altars.
All right. Give me a Arcana check.
Oh my gosh. I'm not feeling it right now.
rolls.
I got a 5 total.
No idea. All this stuff looks strange to you.
And a medicine check on this water and the thing in between the altars.
Okay.
That was so close to a 2. You guys don't even know.
There doesn't
I
seem
got
to
a
be
17
any
total.
medicinal qualities in there at all. It seems to just be straight water, from what you can tell.
Okay.
Although the water in the bath actually looks warm. You can even see
I'm
steam
going
reading from it.
to call out to my two companions, Ariba and Meek, and point out that this seems really sus. This is highly
interesting.
suspicious.
Well,
Four
then
of
perhaps we
us
should come back to it.
going through portals, ending up here, 4 cups, 4 chalices, 4 pouches of gold, 4 rings, 4 seemingly magic items.
Sounds very contrived, doesn't it?
Well, if this inn, I assume it's an inn, given the squealing noises coming from inside. You have not explained, and yet you are not panicked, so I assume they are good squeals. It would be a fine place to take a moment and take stock of what the situation is, and if there is an innkeeper, perhaps they know.
A fair point.
Nicolapo says, perhaps I could cause a distraction. Then we would know for sure whether this is a good thing or not, yes? And he will reach into his pocket and say, "Free gold to the commoners!" and toss 10 gold coins into the air. Usually that gets people running in our direction if they're hiding from bats or bushes or any such thing.
You hear the tinkle of gold coins landing on the ground.
I don't think anyone is waiting for an ambush, or else they would have come running for the free money. And he will pick the 10 gold back and put it back up into his pocket.
You do suspiciously hear a couple of crickets chirping in the background.
All right, yeah, I'll come back out and join Ariba and head in.
You all go into
I'll
the flying monkey?
cautiously enter the flying monkey.
Yeah.
Oh, look, another tankard person.
So, it looks like Barney has definitely set himself up as the barkeeper. And he's already got drinks all ready for you. And
This guy.
drink away, fellas. I've already got some soup boiling on the boil. We're going to have a feed in a minute as well.
This guy. I think we all need to share a look and then mug him. Just shows up in here, doesn't know who owns this place, starts drinking their booze, cooking their food.
I was born for this place, he says.
Barney, bearded one, have you tried these ingredients and this beer?
Yep, you can actually see one drained mug there already.
Excellent.
This stuff's
Ariba will promptly sit down and just watch him for about an hour.
He hits his chest and says, "Oh, this stuff's got some kick."
People
This seems
fist
a
up
little
into the
too good to be
air.
true. This seems a little bit too good to be true after 2 fights to the death, so if it's all the same to you, I will wait until you've had a good long chance to keel over before I try anything in this place.
Does anybody else have a drink?
Unless the proprietor
He
appears.
pops a big foamy mug of beer down for everybody.
Meek politely refuses because I meant to tell you this earlier, which is why I gave away your ale. I do not drink the commoner's ale. It is a bit of a it is not up to my refined taste, you see. And he will reach into his own pocket and pull out some like beef jerky, but this is like $300 beef jerky that he pulled out of his pockets for snacking on.
All right. He pulls out a.
This is Griffin jerky.
He pulls out a bottle from the wine rack and says, "How about some fine elven wine then? This stuff looks pretty good."
Is Meek able to make a check on it to tell if it's good stuff?
Yeah, history. Yeah, sounds good.
That's an 11.
11. You don't recognize the name on the bottle.
Okay.
Could we feasibly take a short rest here?
Most certainly. And as you start taking there's nice comfy chairs to sit in, as you can see. And as you take a nice short rest, you first of all, the rings that you have on your fingers start to vibrate a little bit. Each of you can make an Arcana check with a DC 10. Nice easy one.
There we go. Ooh,
26.
someone rolled big.
Alright, all of a sudden you actually do understand what these rings do, and you hear Barney squeal in delight. He goes, "Oh, is that what they do?" And he actually goes racing out of the tavern, right? And I'll show you what they do. He summons a tent.
I guess Ariba will go peer cautiously around the corner of the tent, wondering if he understands what his ring does at the same time.
Alright, so you sort of get an understanding that it is like the Mordenkainen's hut, where you've got a sort of an extra dimensional space within, sort of like a Harry Potter tent, where it's much bigger on the inside, but you can't see anybody who's in, but you suspect they might be able to see you by looking out. Does anyone want to try and perhaps enter Barney's tent?
I'll give it a poke.
Give it a poke.
Like, literally first with the staff, and then I'll try walking in.
Yep. So,
I'll say, smaller on the outside.
so you put your staff in, it doesn't seem to disappear or anything.
Yeah. Step
Walk in.
inside.
Alright. It seems to be just a tiny little tent. And you're inside
Guess
there. There's nobody else in there.
Guess I'll try to step outside and make my own then, rather than risk a plane through the astral, a plane to the astral dimension where we can escape immediately.
And there we go. Oops, that one.
I also think I think it does also like force damage. So that's a terrible idea. But
Then Barney comes walking
Yeah,
out
well-
while you're actually in there. He goes, "Oh, it's awesome in there. Got everything I need."
Yes.
found more beer, didn't you, bearded one?
Oh no beer in there. The beer's in the Flying Monkey. That's me new second home. Woohoo!
Meek will also attempt to activate his ring, having seen that Barney seemed to work out all well.
Right, what colour was Mix?
It was Jasper.
So that was the red one.
Got a huge circus tent.
Now, it's sort of like moving around with your thoughts. Have you got any idea of where you're thinking about putting it?
We'll go on the other side of the flying monkey. We'll say, oh yes, in between the two pine trees, so he has a nice view of the pond.
So we talking over here?
To the left a little bit.
As in like up here.
Yes, and then spin. Yeah, perfect.
I know I am.
Perfect.
Alright. So that one is going to be for the tent of Mick. So does anyone else plant a tent somewhere?
Alright, so what I want to do is I want to try and summon mine around Barney's tent. And then I want to see if I can make it disappear and take his tent, which is now inside of my tent, away.
And what colour was yours?
No, mine was Lapis Lulus. So I'm not actually going to try and do that. I don't think that it would work because they're the same size. Anywhere's fine. Preferably not right next to Barney's, though. I hate that guy.
Well, I don't accept anywhere. So where did you want it? You've actually got quite a bit of land here to choose from.
Ooh, it's an island.
Okay, so
Interesting.
where you have it is pretty good, but can you move it just a little farther towards that rock? Yeah, right up over there. That's perfect.
All
Good
right.
elevation near the main stuff there. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Excellent. And then the last one is another amber, isn't it?
Yeah, and could it be between the yellow flowers and the red mushroom pointing toward the red tent? Yeah, so if that, yeah, that's
Up
perfect.
there.
Is it a hive inside?
Well, it's basically a mansion. You've got
Ooh.
a bedroom. You've got a meeting room. You've got a lounge room sort of thing. You got your own little kitchen. Basically anything that you would want in a house. All the utensils, but just none of the consumables.
So, is this a So, would we know then that these rings essentially give us like a essentially what it sounds like is a casting of Mordenkainen's mansion every day?
It feels a little bit different to that. It feels like this is now a permanent structure just for you.
Oh,
So this is your home away from home now.
Well, we're prisoners here.
Well, that's quite possible. You don't see any way off. The
Hey, wait, what was that rope back there?
wasn't a rope, it was a wooden pole from the inn.
Yeah, I gotcha. All right,
Plumbing.
well, I mean, Hilda will probably stay up until this food is done and get some food and probably a drink and then go to sleep.
Yep. Now the requirements were met. Now I'm not telling anybody what the requirements are, and there's more than one way you can meet the requirements. The requirement is what opened up the gate for you, and it also allows you with the rest to level up. So each of your characters is now level 2. So next time we play, you guys will be going into the dungeon with level 2 characters instead of level 1 characters.
Very
And
cool.
that's pretty well the end of the show today.
I get to level up.
Any questions at this stage?
What are these
So-
chalices for?
Ah, you haven't figured them out yet.
Tell us your secrets.
You'll have to figure that out before you play your next game.
All right. Well, I don't think I have any questions. All right, guys. I had fun, but I'm gonna get off.
Yep, and I'm going to stop the recording here as well. Thank you very much for coming along.
Yeah.
Well, that went well.
I can feel their power growing.
Yes, good. But we still need more souls if we want to succeed.
All part of the master plan. I go now to source more souls.